112 military toy world where we already have G.I. Joe and Action Force? Do we now have a crowded market? Did we need Monster Force? Is it worth all the hype and the higher price point? What do you have when you take G.I. Joe and mix it with classic monsters like Frankenstein and Cthulhu? Well, that's what you have with Monster Force. And we will find out if it's worth the hype and the price next on Toy Gains.
Toy Gains! That's you and me, baby! Toy Gains! I can't take it anymore! It's Toy Gains!
I rarely, if ever, talk packaging on this channel. But with a higher price point, at least they gave us collector-friendly packaging. It reminds me of the NECA classic book style packaging where you have the cover and you open it. And something very nice here, you have a well-detailed comic giving you some insight into the lore of what's going on with this toy line. Kind of something I said a long time ago. I wish Mythic Legions came with like a little comic or something, because this is something new, something you're unfamiliar with. There's no cartoon, there's no film, there's no comic you grew up with. So this is a nice touch. This is a very good first impression for a toy line that I know nothing about other than what Yojo Jerk has told me and gushed about. It's heavy. There's a nice weight. I just noticed closing that. There appears to be a magnet in there. Listen, I'm a no frills packaging guy because where you could save money for my wallet, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to knock effort. You have wave 1 on the back. You have a little write up here on the back. I will pause it and maybe get a zoomed in view if you want to read that. First impressions are very good. This is very... What's that? What are they warning me about? This is very nice. Great image of the character that I purchased. Why I chose this one to be my first, I don't know. I love the way the red pops off the green and the black. A lot of detail. Let me quit gushing about the packaging. Get them out of here. And as always, let's get down.
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
I probably should have mentioned this is Delta Red. He's a basic trooper, like a Cobra Trooper, army builder type. And busting him out of the box, I get a bag full of just crap to put on this guy. I guess the shoulder pauldrons and different pouches and blast effects. That is nice. You get 2 different head portraits, helmeted heads, if you will. It looks like this one is this one without that protective visor. You get this gun, you get 3 pairs of hands, and you get a figure stand, which is really, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know how you display your figures, but I have issues with different temperatures where I live, where you have shelf dives. So to get an official stand is something that I really appreciate, and I think that every single toy company should at least give you a stand with your figure. Let me kit him out. Let me get the head I like on and all that stuff out of the bag, and I will show you the figure, how I am going to display him. It appears what they said over at who is this? Fresh Monkey Fiction and BBTS is backing them. They looked at Action Force. They looked at Classified and they said, where can we improve to justify the higher price point? And in my opinion, it's paint apps. It's clear that this line has a not an extreme level of higher detail, but more detail than both them companies I just said. There's more paint. There's more paint detail, whether it's the head or the knives or the pouches. There's a little bit more paint detail. There's a wash on the boots. This was nice. That flips up. It's almost like you have two heads for one. On the guns, paint detail. And it's a unique line. It's familiar but different. I don't know if it's completely necessary to add to your collection, but what I'm going to do is pick and choose. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go nuts because the price point, if you rack these up, you know, you can get 4 classified figures, you know, almost for the price of 2 here. You know what I mean? So that's tough. It is nice, though. It is nice. If I was just a military 112 collector and I didn't collect Marvel stuff or Motu or DC, and I just collected military style, you know, G.I. Joe and Valorverse or whatever else is out there, I would be all over this. Everything's kind of modular. You could pick and choose what pouches you want on him. If you want that off, this plug's off. You could put a different pouch there. So that's fun. There's just some customizing and some personal touches you could add to your own figure. Everything was smooth. I will say this. People complain about gummy weapons. This is really stiff and rigid. If this takes a shelf dive, this gun is going to snap. And that's where I don't mind gummy weapons, because my classified weapons and my DC Multiverse weapons may be gummy, but none of them have broken like, say, a NECA would, or this will break. This will snap right in half. Good thing for Action Force munitions packs and weapons packs. Very good, though. Very solid. I'm impressed. I don't like being impressed by things because that leads to rabbit holes, and rabbit holes lead to empty checking accounts. Anyway, let me know what you think. I have to head to the Toy Tuber Expo. I'm leaving in about an hour, but this came this morning. Figured I'd talk about it. As always, guys, take care. Have fun.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah!